Good day, everyone. You are welcome to another section, and today we are going to be considering the topic sword. And what is a sword? A sword is a square root number that doesn't give a whole number. For example, we have the square root of 2 is a sword. The square root of 3 is a sword. And the list goes on and on. We can have the square root of 5 is also a sword. The square root of 7 is a sword. The square root of 11 is a sword, and so on and so forth. So any number that have a square root that does not give a whole number, it gives what we call sword. And in solving questions under sword, we have some basic rules. We have to look into. So some basic rules, some basic rules, some basic rules. Now, the first rule is the rule of addition and subtraction. So for example, if you have the square root of a number which does not give a whole number, plus or minus the square root of another number which does not also give a whole number, the answer becomes the square root of A plus or minus the square root of B. Now, the plus or minus is just combining both addition and subtraction rule of sword. So for example, if you have the square root of 2 plus the square root of 3, so the answer becomes the square root of 2 plus the square root of 3. So never make that mistake by saying the square root of 2 plus 3, which is the square root of 5. This is wrong. Very, very wrong. Now, also, this rule does not only apply to addition, it also applied to subtraction. So therefore, if you have the square root of 2 minus the square root of 3, it remains the square root of 2 minus the square root of 3. But what if you have the square root of 2 plus the square root of 2? Now, since you have the same number under the square root sign, we call this like sword. We call it what? Like sword. Just as you have your like terms in your algebra expression. So this is called like sword. So in this case, if you have the square root of 2 plus the square root of 2, it becomes we have 2 square root of 2. So this is same thing as 1 square root of 2, and this is same thing as 1 square root of 2. So 1 plus 1 becomes 2. 2 square root of 2, that is 2 root 2. Now, so for the cases of like sword, you can add and subtract for cases of like sword. So if you have also the square root of 2 minus the square root of 2, this becomes 0 root 2, which is the same thing as what? 0. So this is on the addition and subtraction of swords. Now, what of multiplication? Now, let's look at multiplication. So if you have the square root of A multiplying the square root of B, you have the square root of A times B. So in this case now, if the square root of a number is multiplying the square root of another number, you can have the multiplication of the two numbers under the same square root sign. So for example, if you have the square root of 2 multiplying the square root of 3, this becomes square root of 2 times 3, which is the same thing as square root of 6. This becomes the square root of 6. Now, that is that. Then if you can also have the square root of 2 times the square root of 2, this becomes the square root of 2 times 2, which is square root of 4. And what is the square root of 4? So the square root of 4 is 2. Now, which means that we can remodify this particular rule if we have the same number under the square root sign, that is, the square root of A multiplied by the square root of A is the same thing as the square root of A squared That is A times A. So which is the same thing as A. So anytime you have the same number under the square root of sign multiplying the square root sign rather multiplying each other, the answer becomes the number. So for example, root 3, this implies that root 3 multiply root 3 will give us 3. Root 10 multiply root 10 will also give us 10. So this is about the multiplication rule. Now the last rule I want us to look into before we move to the next thing under sword is the division rule. The division rule. So in the division rule, if you have root A dividing root B, of course we can rewrite it as root A all over root B. This also becomes root A over B, the square root of A over B, which means if you have root 2 dividing root 3, this can also become the square root of what? 2 over 3. So that is that about the division rule. So in our next class, we are going to be working on some simple simplification, addition, subtraction, division of sword. Thank you.